Hey guys, what's going on today? So I was gonna go out. I get a lot of viewer requests, like questions or people wanting to see things with some of the gear that I've either reviewed or that I'm testing or that I've talked about or shown or whatever. And I do like to get out and do some of those to answer questions. And I was gonna go out today, but it's really windy out. And so I'm kind of here in the backyard hoping that I'm kind of blocked by the wind, by the house a little bit, but especially when you're talking about hammock stuff, it's really hard to hang up a hammock and be able to talk about it and do a video when the wind is blowing it all over the place. So I figured I would come out here today and kind of tell a little story. I know people like to hear stories, like to learn a little bit, so I figured while I'm doing these I would give you guys updates on what's been going on and let you guys get to know me a little bit more, learn a little bit more about stuff I've done and things like that. So what I wanted to do today was give you a little update, just kind of, job front. I've got quite a few pretty good opportunities that have kind of been coming along. I've been amazed at the outpour from people that I've worked with or know, just with opportunities, reaching out to people that they know and trying to hook me up with something, and it's been amazing. So it's incredible that many people want to help me out. So that's really cool. Definitely still opportunities on the table and weighing what I want to do and where I want to be. Still not making any rush decisions. You know, I could have already made a couple of decisions and I don't think that they would have been right. So we're just kind of sitting around. So I want to share with you guys a little bit of a story time thing. So figured, why not talk about a memorable trail experience? Probably one of the most memorable trail experiences I've got. And you know, there's a lot of trail experiences. I've been backpacking and hiking for 30 years or so. I mean, quite a while. All right, even as a kid, I'd spend most of my time out in the woods. I lived kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and so it was kind of nice. I could just kind of get out. We backed up to a national forest, and so we had acres and acres and acres, hundreds, maybe thousands of acres behind us that we could just wander around, play on. And so we had trails, all kinds of stuff out there. So the story I wanted to tell you guys about today involves a good friend of mine, Darren. He's gone by a bunch of different names in the past, not like legal names, because he's been in trouble with the law and so he's changed it, but trail names. So he had the name Dumpy for a while. I think Dump Truck kind of came in there a little bit. Sir Pax a lot. I don't even know where we're at with it at this point, but so he's done some hiking with me, and we were taking a trip to Ansel Adams Wilderness, which by the way is one of my absolute all-time favorite areas. And it's funny that I bring it up because Rain Man and I are thinking about getting out to that area sometime in the not all too distant future. It's probably under a ton of snow right now, so this week, next week, not gonna happen, but it's definitely on the list of places that we want to go and explore and do some cool stuff. So we had this trip planned, and it involved some PCT, John Muir Trail stuff, some side trails, and some off-trail navigation, which is something that I used to really enjoy doing, is getting out the map and compass. Back then, you know, we didn't have all the cool gadgets that we've got now. This was probably a good 20 years ago, but we didn't have the GPS devices, we didn't have the phones, we didn't have, you know, the Garmin InReach, the things like that you had communication or digital trail maps that you could zoom in on and see exactly where you were at all times. So we were using paper map, you know, the Forest Service or the USGS quad maps. You know, we had, I think, a couple of them to piece together where we were going. But we had set up, we had an idea of where we were going. But we got into Mammoth, and we were getting ready. We were gonna leave the next morning, and so we went to a campground, set up the tent, got in, and you know, I sleep in boxers most of the time, especially if I'm warm, and I believe this was a warmer night, so boxers, had all my stuff kind of laying there. My boots were kind of by the door, maybe in the vestibule, I don't recall. But at some point we had I believe we had bear canisters with us. Yeah, we definitely had bear canisters with us, and so we had that all taken care of. We were making sure we were all legal there. And at some point during the night, I remember this noise. I'm not exactly sure what the noise was at first, so we were thinking about it, and then I heard this ripping noise, and then a growling noise, and then I was like, huh, I think there's a bear out there. And Darren was like, no, there's not, just go back to sleep. I'm like, no, I think there's a bear out there, and I think it's got one of our bags, because our bags were hanging up outside. So hear another noise, and I'm like, I'm going out there, and he's like, no dude, just go to bed. So I go out there, and sure enough, there is a bear, and it has Darren's backpack in its mouth. And so, you know, I've always heard make a lot of noise, look big, be scary, and the bears are more scared of you than you are of them. Well, I was taking that one to heart that night, and I was making lots of noise. I was banging on pots and pans, I was screaming, I was yelling. Got the idea to pick up some rocks and start throwing them at this bear, and this bear is backing away, carrying his backpack, and we're about to go out on this backpacking trip, so we need that backpack. And I don't know, it gets 25 feet away from me. I hit it with a rock, and it turns, and I think just to kind of flip me off and say F you, it looks at me, it reaches down, and it just shreds his backpack. And it did whatever it was gonna do. It dropped the backpack and it left. And we found out that he had left one oatmeal packet. One oatmeal packet was down in a side pocket, and this bear found it, ripped this backpack apart to get to it, ate it, and then left on his way. So now we were kind of, do we go? Do we have to find somewhere? We had taken a shuttle down. Do we need to now find a place to go get a new backpack? Because I mean, we were getting ready to go out on, I don't know, 5 or 7 day trip out into the woods, and it's kind of important to have a backpack. What we ended up doing, I had a bunch of duct tape with me, and we duct taped the hell out of his backpack, and that's how we did it. We duct taped the backpack, and we hit the backcountry, and we spent several days out in the backcountry, both on trail and off trail, doing stuff. And I have fond memories of that one. My favorite campsite of all time is there at Thousand Island Lake below Banner Peak, and just that area is so raw and so amazing that I've got to go back. I've just got to go back. Hopefully this time without the bear incident, but it's things like that. Definitely leave a memory, and definitely something you will remember and never forget. And I can guarantee you that Darren still remembers this story and would probably sell it a little bit differently than me. He may have different pieces of memory, because you know, over time things change and things erode in your mind, but that's the way I remember it, and I'm pretty sure it's right. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Come back, definitely more. I'll keep you guys abreast of what's going on, where we are, and got some cool things I'm going to be doing. So make sure you guys stick around. See you guys next time.